The airwaves are buzzing with a troubling claim Israel is burning, pushed relentlessly by some Indian television and social media outlets, and it's time we confront this narrative head on. The question being raised in this video concerns these outlets. There are thousands of Indian workers in Israel, approximately over 100,000 laborers from India working in various employment sectors there, with the majority coming from Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. Additionally, there are many Indian nurses and caregivers in the healthcare sector. Have you heard any of these workers pleading to return immediately from Israel? Can you show me even a single media report indicating this panic among Indian workers in Israel? The silence is deafening, suggesting the reality on the ground starkly contradicts these sensational headlines. Today, I'll expose the truth behind Iran's collapse, the plight of its people, and the misinformation plaguing Indian media. Meanwhile, the reality paints a different picture. About 35 countries, including India, have temporarily suspended their embassy operations in Tehran due to escalating dangers. India alone has around 16,000 students and workers in the city, and the government of India has officially advised them to return, citing credible intelligence about potential attacks and kidnappings targeting foreign nationals. Iran has even opened its airports to facilitate safe evacuation by Indian aircraft, a rare concession amid its chaos. Yet some Indian media outlets persist with claims that Israel is burning, ignoring these stark ground realities. Tehran, a sprawling city of over 10 million, has seen 20 to 27% of its population flee, with only those too poor to escape trapped in a deteriorating situation. Many have crossed borders. Pakistan initially closed its borders, but reopened them under U.S. pressure, while around 5,000 families have fled through Turkey, according to the latest reports. Iranian state television and restricted social media, crippled by the regime's internet shutdown, continue broadcasting orders for people to stay put. But why are citizens defying these directives? Because they've woken up to a brutal truth. The Iranian regime and its military can no longer protect them. Take Isfahan, Iran's second largest city, where a critical nuclear facility was bombed twice, with unconfirmed reports hinting at radiation leaks. The facility is reportedly obliterated, a devastating blow to Iran's ambitions. This contrasts sharply with the false narratives in India, where media claims of Israel is burning lack evidence. Yes, some missiles have struck Israel, causing casualties, but over the last 2 days, those numbers have dropped to near zero, thanks to Israel's Iron Dome achieving near 100% interception rates against Iranian missiles. Tehran has transformed into a ghost city, grappling with severe shortages that threaten its survival. Fuel is unavailable, prices have skyrocketed, markets stand empty, and people face famine-like conditions. So, why aren't more fleeing? Because most have nowhere to go. That's the tragic reality staring them in the face. The Iranian government's attempts to stage pro-regime rallies against Israel have flopped, with barely a handful of veiled women showing up. Where are the million-strong anti-America, anti-Israel protests that once filled Iranian streets? They've vanished, a testament to the people's lost faith in the regime's hollow propaganda. This collapse is mirrored by the actions of nearly 16,000, 17,000 Indians in Israel, where the Indian government is actively coordinating their safe return if needed, showing a measured response rather than panic. The exodus isn't limited to citizens. Chinese companies, which invested nearly $400 billion in Iran, are shutting down operations and evacuating staff, recognizing the country's descent into instability. When war erupts, people vote with their feet, and Iran's streets tell the story. No food, no water, no electricity, no fuel, no internet, just endless smoke, explosions, and gunfire. What does this tell us, dear journalists? Why aren't you reporting this complete collapse? In Israel, a hospital attack claimed around 30 lives, a tragic but isolated incident. In Iran, unconfirmed reports suggest over 1,500 dead, a figure the regime hides by severing communication channels. The humanitarian crisis there is catastrophic, with families displaced and infrastructure in ruins. So when certain Indian media personalities claim Iran is winning the war, what kind of dangerous delusion is this? Who benefits from these lies? How can rational individuals, let alone professional journalists, believe such blatant propaganda? This echoes the false narratives pushed about Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, each exposed as fraudulent. The critical question remains, how long will this charade continue? Digital platforms are weaponized to spread misinformation, but the undeniable truth is this: Iran is collapsing internally, its people are fleeing en masse, and even its allies are abandoning it. The more important question is why some Indian media outlets still peddle these dangerous lies. Who stands to gain from this deception? The answer is clear. No one benefits except those who thrive on chaos and propaganda. Iran's isolation is deepening. Russia and China, once its allies, have distanced themselves, prioritizing trade with Gulf states like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, who see Iran as a regional threat. No Islamic nation, not even Pakistan, openly supports Tehran, leaving it diplomatically stranded. For Indian workers in the Gulf, particularly in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, this instability poses risks. Iran's desperation could lead to erratic attacks on U.S. allied nations, threatening economic hubs where millions of Indians work, sending vital remittances to India. The Gulf supplies much of India's oil, and disruptions could spike global prices, impacting India's energy security. The regime's ban on internet access, intended to silence dissent, has backfired as citizens use smuggled devices to share videos of the devastation, further eroding trust. The international community watches as Iran's 46-year theocratic experiment unravels. Israel's precision strikes, combined with Iran's internal collapse, suggest a tipping point is near. The Indian government's evacuation efforts highlight the urgency, while media distortions in India only muddy the waters. The reality on the ground, empty streets, fleeing families, and a regime on its knees, speaks louder than any propaganda. As this conflict reshapes the Middle East, the truth will prevail, but only if we demand it from those who shape our narratives. Stay tuned for updates as Iran's fate and its ripple effects across the globe unfold before our eyes.